Hello and welcome. I'm your elizibar, and we're going to talk about Impact Wrestling. I call this the state of Impact as of November 2021 because we're going to talk about Impact. And honestly, since Impact restarted back in when was it, like 2019 or something? I remember tuning in and watching like Rob Van Dam doing a promo from a hot tub or something. It's like when they started streaming the new show on Twitch. So I remember seeing like Rob Van Dam in a hot tub, being like, "I'm Rob Van Dam," and so cool. Then I remember seeing that one guy who has the sexual harassment charges, whose whole gimmick is getting people to touch his junk. I remember him messing around with Ken Shamrock, trying to get Ken Shamrock to touch his junk, and that totally put me off the product. And I didn't come back to Impact until the Kenny Omega stuff, which that's all kind of fizzled out and it's felt really weird and incomplete, so kind of lame. But that's where we are. Since then, Kenny dropped the Impact belt to Josh Alexander, and Josh Alexander dropped the Impact belt to Moose. And really, here's Josh Alexander, like right there. I've never been able to take him seriously. I'm sorry, coming out with amateur wrestling headgear, that doesn't really do it for me. And that's kind of the problem I have with a lot of Impact's pool of talent is I don't really like watching most of them do their thing. Like when they cut those promos and it's like, oh, we're gonna go gamble at so and so's table. They're clearly just in an office in a building. Like they're just in a room. There's nothing exciting. At least on AEW, when they have people cutting promos, they try to stick them back in like an industrial-looking area, so things are a little more menacing and interesting to look at. You don't really see a whole lot of good promos cut in hallways, and I don't mean like concrete hallways. I mean like this is an office door hallway type stuff, like Impact does. They do way too much of that. I think what talent they have, they do waste. And I'm going to talk about Moose a little bit because Moose is one of the dudes I think probably should be better than he's shown as. But what Impact does have going for them is all this talent that they've gotten from New Japan. The best stuff I've watched on Impact has been stuff like Finjuice Wrestling people, the recent stuff where Bullet Club has showed up. So you got like El Phantasmo. Jay White was on for a little while. That was pretty cool. Minoru Suzuki, who's right over there, pointing at Eddie Edwards. Uh, that's fun. Every time Minoru Suzuki shows up somewhere, I try to watch it because I like watching Minoru Suzuki torture people. He's really good at it and he makes it look really fun. I mean it, he really does. And I feel like this is the problem with Impact. All the stuff going on in Impact that I've really enjoyed has been stuff driven, how to put it, by other companies. That's the only way I can possibly put it. It's stuff driven by other companies. So whether it's AEW stuff with Kenny Omega showing up and kind of giving the Good Brothers a kick in the butt, guys from New Japan coming over, it's all kind of been driven by other companies. Christian losing his belt to Josh Alexander and then Moose taking it is like the first Impact specific thing to happen to that belt in a long time. So that's a good thing. But so much of the other stuff going on their cards, I try to watch it and I end up fast forwarding through that episode on the TV show or I end up fast forwarding through that part of the pay per view because it just doesn't interest me. It's like, I don't really care. I remember I tried watching some barbed wire death match like 4 or 5 pay-per-views ago. I think it was Sammy Callahan versus Eddie Edwards. I don't really remember, so I might have got that wrong. It was one of the lamest barbed wire death matches that I think I've ever seen. It was slow, it was boring, it wasn't fun to watch. It wasn't even like, oh, I can't watch this because it's too bloody. It's just kind of like, this is the thing that happened. Who cares? Until Impact gets their act together and starts letting their wrestlers actually pop, let their wrestlers actually shine, I think it feels like they're just going to kind of stay in the same position of mediocrity. And the announce team, don't get me wrong, like D'Lo and that other guy, they're accomplished wrestlers and stuff, but I don't feel like they really have the chemistry together that, say, Caprice Coleman and Ian Riccaboni have on Ring of Honor. I could listen to those two guys talk about anything, and I think I'd enjoy it. So that's kind of how I feel about Impact. They're really being driven by these out of organization wrestlers. They're carrying all the hard work. They're really carrying the company, and that's a really weird place to be when you have to bring somebody in from like New Japan to do this and put on a big match for you. I kind of want to see Suzuki beat Moose because I think that'd be funny, but that would also be really stupid. Please don't do that, Impact. Please. Bye bye.